Welcome back to Crypto Meets AI. Jerry here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. Now let's get into this. Now, the world's second largest fund with 11 trillion assets under management will be able to buy XRP ETFs. Bitcoin ETFs have been trading for almost 2 years, and they have never been interested because they know it's a 100% speculative asset. They are starting to take an interest when XRP ETFs are launched. It's no coincidence, it's a plan. Here's our latest market update. XRP ETFs hit 20.6 million in 2 hours. We're only 2 hours into the session, not even half a day in, and XRP ETFs have already pushed 20.6 million in volume. Absolutely insane start. Franklin Templeton leads early with 7.24 million. Bitwise close behind at 6.35 million. The rest are filling in fast. If this pace holds, we're on track for another big volume day. No official news from the 21 shares XRP ETF, but I'll keep you guys updated. Elon Musk. Anyone who wants to make more than they take has my respect. Elon is asked for his advice for entrepreneurs, to which he responds, I'm a big fan of anyone who wants to build. Anyone who wants to make more than they take has my respect. That's the main thing you should always aim for. To make more than you take and be a net contributor to society. He compares it to the pursuit of happiness.
Well, I think I'm a big fan of anyone who wants to build. So I think anyone who wants to, make more than they take has my respect. So that's the main thing you should aim for. Aim to make more than you take. Be a net contributor to society. It's kind of like the pursuit of happiness. If you want to create something valuable financially, you don't pursue that. It's best to actually pursue providing useful products and services. If you do that, then money will come as a natural consequence of that, as opposed to pursuing money directly. Just like you can't sort of pursue happiness directly. You pursue things that lead to happiness, but there's not like direct happiness pursuit. You do things like, I guess, fulfilling work or study or friends, loved ones, that as a result make you happy. So that's it sounds like very obvious, but generally, if somebody's trying to make a company work, they should expect to grind super hard, except that there's like some meaningful chance of failure. But just be focused on having the output be worth more than the input. That are you a value creator? That's what really matters. Making more than you take.
I would have to say that's a very good way to live by. Make more than you can take. Because in reality, a lot of people take more than they make. Oh boy, here we go. Strategy just admitted it could sell Bitcoin. Read that again. In 5 years, Michael Saylor told the world, you do not sell your Bitcoin. He built an empire on that conviction. 49,870 Bitcoin, the largest corporate treasury in history. On November 29th, 2025, CEO Phong Le broke that seal. 2 triggers, stock below 1x mNAV. Capital markets close. If both conditions meet, selling becomes mathematically justified. The first trigger is already true. mNAV collapsed to 0.95 as November 30th. Strategy stock now trades below the value of its own Bitcoin holdings. The premium that funded years of leverage accumulation has vanished. The second trigger is approaching. Q3 2025, BlackRock, Vanguard, Capital International, and JP Morgan sold 5.38 billion in MicroStrategy shares. The institutional exit is underway. Stock is down 60% from highs. The obligation is fixed. 750 to 800 million annual preferred dividends, no deferral, no negotiation. December 31st looms. The math is closing in. When mNAV traded at 2.5x, Strategy could issue shares at a premium to buy Bitcoin and pay dividends. At 0.95x, every share issued destroys value. The flywheel that built the treasury now threatens to consume it. The 0.9x mNAV line is the new threshold. Below that, with capital markets hostile, the company holding 3% of all Bitcoin becomes the forced seller into the market, already bleeding from a 19 billion in October liquidations and yen carry unwind. Saylor preached conviction as religion. Phong Le just revealed the denomination is dollars. The most important question in crypto is no longer will institutions adopt Bitcoin. It is whether the institutions that adopted Bitcoin most aggressively can survive to keep it.
We can sell Bitcoin, and we would sell Bitcoin if we needed to fund our dividend payments below 1x mNAV. And that would be, by definition, BTC yield is our North Star, right? And that's sort of what our primary KPI is, just like earnings per share might be an important KPI for a traditional company. Then under 1x mNAV, it's more accretive to BTC yield to sell our Bitcoin to pay the dividends. And so we would do it in that case. Now, that said, right, as we speak, we have to look at liability management. Are there ways that we can raise capital above mNAV to pay for things below mNAV? So there are things that we think pretty long and hard about. Just like in 2022 during Bitcoin winter, we thought long and hard about what to do with our secured loan, our Bitcoin backed loan. We decided to buy back our Bitcoin backed loan at 80 cents on the dollar. We're pretty nimble.
That was
those
with
kinds of
Silvergate.
things. That was Silvergate, yeah. And so now, as we're looking at Bitcoin winter, as we see our mNAV compressing, my hope is our mNAV doesn't go below 1. But if we did, and we didn't have other access to capital, we would sell Bitcoin.
But that would almost be a last resort.
That would be a last resort. And I think, look, there's the mathematical side of me that says that would be absolutely the right thing to do. And there's the emotional side of me, the market side of me that says, we don't want to really be the company that's selling Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, for me, the mathematical side wins.
If they're forced to sell their Bitcoin to pay dividends, that destroys the whole purpose of MicroStrategy in the first place. It destroys that narrative, and it's Michael Saylor's fault because he chose to take a path that I'm afraid is going to blow up in his face. Google CEO says data centers in space will harness the sun's power. And it's pretty wild. Just after a couple of days ago when I did a video on Elon Musk and him talking about harnessing the sun's energy up in space for data centers, we have Google CEO stating the same facts. Sunday laid out a vision straight from science fiction, building Google's future data centers in orbit to capture near limitless solar energy. How do we one day have data centers in space so we can better harness the energy from the sun? That's 100 trillion times more energy than we produce on Earth today. In 2027, we'll take that first step, sending tiny racks of machines aboard satellites to test them out and start scaling. A decade from now, this will be seen as the normal way to build data centers.
How do we one day have data centers in space so that we can better harness the energy from the sun? That is 100 trillion times more energy than what we produce in all of Earth today. So we want to put these data centers in space, closer to the sun, and I think we are taking our first step in 27. We'll send tiny racks of machines and have them in satellites, test them out, and then start scaling from there. But there's no doubt to me that a decade or so away, we'll be viewing it as a more normal way to build data centers.
Check this out. Elon Musk says, the sun is 98% of all mass in our solar system. Even if you somehow burn Jupiter and everything that is not in the sun in a fusion reactor, the sun would still round up to 100% of all energy. For anyone out there that might not know, Ripple's escrow was created to protect the price of XRP. The escrow framework was built to avoid sudden XRP inflows that could cause sharp price swings, maintaining a predictable release schedule. This mechanism is intended to ensure that a large number of XRP will not enter the market at one time and lead to a substantial reduction in the price of XRP. Ripple cannot access or sell the escrowed XRP whenever it chooses, since the tokens are cryptographically secured and only unlocked through preset monthly contracts. This provides added clarity and confidence around XRP's future supply. And last up, if XRP absorbs even a small fraction of global liquidity requirements across FX, settlement, tokenization, and collateral markets, its valuation must increase to support efficient utility. The mathematics of liquidity density, not market enthusiasm, ultimately determines its price trajectory. Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want more crypto deep dives, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thank you for watching. Remember to always do your own research. This is not financial advice.